It represents a new life to them. We will come to find out that she and her husband suffered a loss some years prior. They had a stillbirth. And so she went through both a lot of grief, but she also went through some mental health issues. But now this is this new life. They're looking forward to it. But shortly after, she has a fall in the home and she is put on bed rest. And when she is on bed rest, she begins to experience things in the house. And the question then becomes, are there really things going on, or is it all in her head? The idea of bed rest came out of two experiences from my life. The first one was I had just had my daughter, and in that first month of being home and being mom, I was stuck inside a lot. I was starting to feel very claustrophobic and get a little cabin fever. And I started thinking about a bunch of my friends who had been on bed rest. And luckily, I was able to get up. I was able to walk out of the house. But for them, they were stuck in bed. And I started to think about the psychological toll and the physical toll that begins to take on someone. And being a lover of all things genre, I just went sort of to that twisted space of, oh, this is a great idea for a horror movie or a psychological thriller. And because especially for a haunted house movie, one of the fundamental questions is always, well, why don't you just leave? And well, if you're on bed rest, that's why. As far as the emotional journey of bed rest and Julie's story, that came from something else that happened in my life. Before I had given birth to my daughter, a year before, my husband and I had been pregnant with our first child, a son, and we had a stillbirth. It had been a healthy pregnancy. We went in to the hospital in labor, thinking we were going to welcome our son, and then we had a complication, and our story ended tragically. And so as a mom, I went through the grieving process. I was working through a lot of my feelings about that. And then cut to a few years later when I started working on bed rest, I began to realize my own emotional journey really informed the main character and her journey. And so that really became the basis of the emotional journey of bed rest and Julie's story and how she overcomes grief.